Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my MLB DraftKings picks for Monday, June 19th. Sorry for no videos this past weekend, guys. I usually do make videos on Saturdays, but Saturday's main slate was only a 4-game slate, so it's kind of hard to break down that slate, just not really many options. Most people just played the early slate on Saturday, and I usually never make videos on Sundays, but I do make videos on Saturdays, but didn't make any this past weekend. But we're back on Monday today, breaking down today's slate. We got an 11-game main slate today. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so looking at pitcher today, your top pitcher is Clayton Kershaw. I think this is a great spot for Kershaw. I definitely think this is a slate where you want to get Kershaw in some of your lineups. I don't think he's a must on the slate because there are some other aces that are in really good spots. So I don't think Kershaw's a must, but I absolutely love him today, and I love the matchup. So I'm going to be locking him in as my SP1, 13,500. If you look into the matchup, it's a great matchup. The Mets really struggle against lefties. Most of the Mets, pretty much all their good hitters besides Cespedes are lefties, like Conforto, Bruce, Duda. All those guys are lefties, so Kershaw's going to be he's going to be able to face a bunch of lefties, which is going to be favorable to him. But if you look at the Mets, overall, they do not hit the ball well versus lefties, and they strike out at a decent rate. They rank 12th in strikeout rate versus lefties, striking out 21.6% of the time. If you look at average and WOBA, they really struggle to hit lefties. They rank towards the bottom of the league in average. They rank 23rd in average versus lefties with a 234 average. And if you look at WOBA, WOBA is also towards the bottom of the league as well. They rank 26th in WOBA versus lefties with a 294 WOBA. So the Mets strike out at a decent rate versus lefties. They don't hit lefties well at all. So this is a great spot for Kershaw. And if you look at his history versus the Mets, he has pitched very well against them. A bunch of the Mets hitters have really done bad against Kershaw. For example, Cespedes, he has gone 0 for 9 against Kershaw. I think there's a couple more as well. Lucas Duda has gone 1 for 11. Jose Reyes has gone 3 for 16. So pretty much pretty much all their good hitters have done pretty bad against Kershaw. If you look at how he's faced the whole team, he's seen 91 of the Mets, he's faced 91 of the Mets hitters, seen 91 at bats against them. In those 91 at bats, the Mets have only had 17 hits against Kershaw, which has resulted in a 187 average. So the Mets have not hit Kershaw well, and Kershaw has definitely got the strikeouts against them. In those 91 at bats, Kershaw's got 28 strikeouts, which is about a 30% strikeout rate, maybe even higher. I'm just doing that math quickly in my head. That's about a 30% strikeout rate. So Kershaw's done so well against this team. So I absolutely love Kershaw today. He's going to be pitching at home in LA, a very pitcher-friendly park. Kershaw pitches very well at home. Splits aren't that drastic. He's pitched 7 games at home and 7 on the road. And in 7 at home, he's averaged 26 DK points. And in 7 on the road, he's averaged 25. So not much of a difference there. But getting Kershaw at home in LA, pitcher-friendly park, I think this is a great spot for Kershaw. And if you look at the Mets' implied run total, they are only implied to score 2.6 runs, which is insanely low. Kershaw is a heavy favorite. He's a minus 290 favorite right now as I'm recording this video. So Kershaw is definitely the top option in my opinion. He's probably going to be the highest scoring pitcher on the slate. So if you want to pay up for him, I wouldn't mind it at all. I love Clayton Kershaw today. And I'm going to be locking him in as my SP1, 13,500. And since I did play Kershaw, I'm going to be looking to go a little bit cheaper for my SP2. And I really like Jake Odorizzi today, 7,400, getting a matchup against the Reds. I really like Odorizzi since he's going to be pitching at home in Tampa Bay. Odorizzi does have pretty drastic splits. If you look at his splits so far this year, in 6 games at home, Odorizzi has averaged 19 DraftKings points. Through 6 games on the road, he has only averaged 8 DK points. So Odorizzi pitches a lot better at home, which is understandable. Tampa Bay's ballpark is a very pitcher-friendly park. So I really like Jake Odorizzi today as my SP2. He is pretty cheap at just 7,400. If you're going to play Kershaw today, you're going to need a cheaper SP2. So I like Odorizzi to fit that build. Now, if you look into the matchup, it's actually not that great of a matchup. The Reds do hit righties pretty well, but they do strike out at a decent rate. They're striking out 21% of the time so far this year versus righties, which rank 17th. But if you look at average, they do hit righties pretty well, like I said. They rank 11th in average versus righties, hitting a 262 average. And WOBA is also up there as well. They rank 7th in WOBA, hitting a 331 WOBA against righties. but you're going to be getting the Reds out of the Great American Ballpark, and they're going to be traveling to Tampa Bay, to Tropicana Field, which is a very pitcher-friendly park. So I really like Jake Odorizzi today. If you just look at the splits, he pitches a lot better at home, and getting the Reds away from their home park, getting them going to Tropicana Field, a very pitcher-friendly park. I think Odorizzi is going to pitch a very solid game today, and I'm going to be locking him in as my SP2 with just 7,400. When you plug in Kershaw and Odorizzi as your two pitchers, that only leaves you 3,600 remaining per player. But there are a lot of good value plays or value hitters on the slate, so I think it's actually pretty easy to fit Kershaw in today. I was just looking over some of the hitters, and there are a lot of hitters that I like today that are very cheap. So I like Kershaw and Odorizzi today as my two pitchers. And then for my three hitters, all my three hitters today are gonna be 3,600 and cheaper. So looking at third base, there's a guy that I like here for just 3,400, and that's Kyle Seager, getting a matchup against Anibal Sanchez. I absolutely love Seager today. I definitely love the Mariners as a stack. Anibal Sanchez, he is not a good pitcher. If you look at his splits so far this year, it's not a big sample size. Sanchez has only pitched 21 innings. He has been a relief pitcher this year. All his innings pitched have come out of relief. But even when he comes out of the bullpen, he's still getting rocked. He's given up a 400 WOBA to lefties this year and a 507 WOBA to righties. He's just been absolutely getting crushed. And if you look at the batted ball data, he's been getting hit pretty hard as well, giving up a 38.5% hard contact or 38.5 hard contact rate to lefties and a 55.6% hard contact rate to righties. So Anibal Sanchez has been getting hit very hard. So I definitely like these Mariners today. Definitely Cano, Seager, Cruz, Gamble, even Haniger. That top five right there, really like that stack. Probably will be pretty low owned as well. So definitely consider the Mariners if you're looking for a low owned stack. That definitely has upside. I think Anibal Sanchez is going to really struggle today. So I like Kyle Seager getting some exposure to that offense. He's very cheap at just 3,400. If you play Kershaw, like I said, you're going to need cheap hitters. So I like Kyle Seager today at that cheap price tag of just 3,400. Then for my final two hitters, both of my final two hitters are going to be in the outfield. So my first guy that I absolutely love today is Malik Smith at just 3,600, getting a matchup against Scott Feldman. Absolutely love Malik Smith to get some stolen bases here. If you look at Feldman this year, so far giving up stolen bases, he ranks 6th in the league with most stolen bases allowed. Feldman has allowed 10 stolen bases this year. So this is a great spot for Malik Smith to get some steals. If Smith gets on base, he's going to run. So I absolutely love Malik Smith today for value, just 3,600. I don't know why he is this cheap. He's just been so consistent. Ever since he took Kiermaier's spot, Malik Smith has just been crushing. He's been very consistent. In his last 4 games, he's put up 5, 7, 15, and 8 DraftKings points, which is very solid for his price tag. So I absolutely love Malik Smith today. Like I said, if he gets on base, I expect Smith to be running. If he gets on base, I'm going to go ahead and guarantee it that he's going to steal a base. So I like Malik Smith today at just 3,600 if you're looking for some outfield value. Then for my final play outfield, a guy that I also like today is Gregory Polanco at just 3,400, getting a matchup against Matt Garza. I really like Polanco today just because he's so cheap. He's going to be getting a great matchup against Garza. He's also going to be getting a great park shift going to Miller Park, a very hitter-friendly park. And if you look at Garza's splits this year, so far he has been getting hit pretty hard by lefties. He's given up a 352 WOBA to lefties this year. And if you look at his home and road splits, the WOBA increases to a 394 WOBA. He's given up a 394 WOBA to lefties at home in Miller Park, which is understandable since that park is so hitter-friendly. So I really like Gregory Polanco today for value. Garza has also been getting hit pretty hard by lefties, giving up a 36.4% hard contact rate to lefties so far this year. So this is a great spot for Polanco. He has been really cold this year, but he did start to heat up in his last game. He did hit a home run off of Jake Arrieta Saturday night, so maybe that'll get him going. I really like Gregory Polanco today, looking for value at outfield. Getting the righty-lefty matchup against Matt Garza. Polanco does hit righties very well, and as I showed you guys, Garza does give up hard contact to lefties, playing in Miller Park. I think this is a great spot for Gregory Polanco, so I'm going to be locking him in for outfield value, just 3,400. So yeah, these are my 5 plays for tonight, guys. I went with Clayton Kershaw, Jake Odorizzi, Kyle Seager, Malik Smith, and Gregory Polanco. When you plug these 5 guys in your lineup, that leaves you an average of over 3,700 remaining per player, which you can easily work around. Find some guys that you like and build around these 5 players. Or if you want to get my lineups, then be sure to follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. My lineups are $5 a day, or you can get a week of lineups for $25. So be sure to message me on Twitter if you are interested in getting lineups, or if you have any questions about the slate or just want to ask me something, you can also follow me on Twitter and contact me there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. If this is your first time on my channel, please be sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I do upload these videos pretty much every day, so I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if you never want to miss out on any videos, if you scroll down to where the subscribe button is, there is a bell icon. If you click that bell icon, that'll turn on notifications, and that'll notify you every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on any videos, you can do that as well. I would also really appreciate that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.